As know, I am Comic Nerd 1997, and this is something new that I'm trying to do. And I'm gonna kind of incorporate this a little bit more. I'm gonna do gameplay mixed with a little bit of news. Could be anything. If you guys want to do comment when this either during the live stream or after, what would you like to see? Like, what would you want me to talk about? I'm playing the game Firewatch. It's a nice game. It's single player, and it's very story driven, and it's pretty good. But as soon as I get past this part, then I'm going to talk about the title of the video, Hydra Captain America. But overall, I'm going to start. I'm going to talk a little bit about it, and I think that I'm I'm a little bit on the fence because I think that Marvel did this on purpose to mostly get more sales and to throw DC off of their DC Rebirth relaunch that they're doing. I think they could have done it in a different way if they want to cause up a lot of stir with the Captain America issues. But my big problem is that, granted, I love seeing that everybody is up in arms about it, and saying hashtag say no to Hydra Cap. That's awesome. That shows that the comic book community of involving that character, people love that character, and that shows that people are very strong. They have strong opinions about that, which is good. I'm not faulting that at all, but it's just the first issue, and people are flipping out. And I think it's a little bit of a mixed, like, I do understand, like, say if it was a character that I love, like Invincible, or I'm trying to just remember just offhand of what I could be angry about, because I try to always get the whole picture. Like, as soon as I saw the final panel on the newest Captain America book, and I got a little bit baffled, because I'm just like, cool, they're trying something new. And the last Captain America issues, not issues, but runs, have been kind of dealing with the same stuff. Captain America, even though it was Sam Wilson, he was political to an extent, but then again, it also was just like, oh, he beat up the bad guy. He saved the day. You know what I'm saying? But this one, it's a classic way of selling more issues, but then again, we haven't really seen much of Cap being a Hydra agent. I think in the 60s, they did a little run about it, but I think it was not to this extent to what the writers and to what Marvel's saying. They're saying that it's not brainwashing, it's not him playing double agent, that it is it is Steve Rogers, Cap America. It's not a clone, it's not this. They're saying that it's him. So that's an interesting thing. It brings up a lot of questions of why now? Why did he stick to his guns throughout the entire run? And it is like, I've been seeing a lot of it's a dishonor to Joe Simon and Jack Kirby. Now I can see that, but granted, because they always been saying that two Jewish people created Cap America, and that it is kind of like a dishonor to them. And I understand. I'm a humongous fan of Joe Simon and Jack Kirby, but they created him such a long time ago, and I'm just taking this as somebody who I'm putting I'm putting putting myself in their shoes, and just like, okay, how can we make it a little bit less different? You know what I'm saying? Spice it up a little bit. And then I guarantee Nick Spencer, he's a great writer. He probably did say this to Marvel. He's just like, why don't we just make him a Hydra agent? And they probably were a little bit on the fence with that. But then they probably heard about DC Rebirth and how it's like launching soon, and they're just probably just like, hey, Nick Spencer, can you do that idea that you thought of a while back? And they were probably just like, and he was just like, sure. So then he did the whole standoff, get Cap back in, and then bam, right around Rebirth, they took away the Thunder from DC. Now, I'm not saying that's exactly what they did, but it certainly does seem like that's what happened. Um, I know Marvel likes to do that a little bit. They like to, like, not just Marvel but Disney. They like to make sure their product is always number one. Like Star Wars, you it's like every single week there's something little bit of like, oh, here's a new Star Wars thing, and here's that. They want to make sure that it's always in people's minds, and this was a pretty good, like, bam, like, this is like pretty unexpected. And I just remembered what I said in the beginning, how I wasn't going to get that into it in the beginning, but yeah, I kind of changed because it's an interesting topic. Now, what I would like, that's the one of the options I picked. You can also do a muscle pose. I think that one's hilarious. But what I like to say is that, in general, I do understand how it could really mess up a lot of people. Not mess up in the way of like an actual hurt, like physical, but it meant like mentally with the kid. They were also bringing up with the kids and how would you feel if you were like your kid reads Captain America and he's just like he's the good guy, and 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 everything else like that, and then bam, they just get sideswiped, and then just completely they just have their world blown because they thought this guy was the ultimate hero. He was the ultimate everything. But granted, now I'm kind of like this. If you read the Captain America books, especially with like Nick Spencer, they really were very political, and I can't really like see much kids reading that. You know what I'm saying? Like with Falcon, he brought up like especially within like issue 1 and issue 2, he was going really at it with very political things that like they really wasn't really brought upon. He was really saying how America's much different and how they need to change and how it needs to be different and how America is different itself. And I'm thinking the readers for Captain America go from teenagers to adults. I think the kids are in a minority in this case. But when it comes to books like Scooby-Doo Adventures, I know that's kind of like really random off the ball, but Teen Titans Go, like those ones, I think the majority will be children-based books. Like books like Captain America have always had this political sense to the point where it was always kind of leaned toward more of the young adults and adults. So I kind of throw that whole thing away when people say, "Oh, well, what about the kids?" Then Marvel's not going to incorporate that in the movies, and if they do incorporate that in the movies, I will have to say they are like the most ballsiest people ever, and they are just trying to make such a stir. Now, even Chris Evans has commented on it, and he's a little bit baffled himself. I can see why. It's Captain America. This man is supposed to be 1940s, full-bred American, and he is supposed to be the people's man. He is supposed to be the person that treats you like a neighbor, and he will make sure that you're respected, and that you make sure that you feel like you're supposed to, that everything that you are about, he makes sure that you are at least respected for it. He may not agree with it, but he will make sure that you are respected. And to get sideswiped like this, I do understand, because I do love Cap America. And this is it's a bit strange, but honestly, 75 plus years, you can't really. There's a lot of different things to do, but they've been really playing it really close to the chest. I mean, like even back in the day, they made him a werewolf, and that probably caused probably an equal amount. It's just there wasn't really the internet back then. There wasn't at all. I mean, people probably sent in a lot of letters, and a lot of this, a lot of that. But nowadays, it seems like it's much worse than it actually is, because of the fact that the internet's here, and it's just more than just the actual comic book, the comic book communities, and now it's just everybody, because now it's just not comic books, it's a fandom, and it's strange, but you know, everyone is different, and everyone does, you know, they go at it at a different edge, like as everybody else. Like me, I'm just kind of just like, okay, you know, they're not going to go much into that. They're not going to bring that into the movies or anything like that. So I'm just like, cool, you know. And also, what I would like to also add on is that this is just like I said like earlier. I think I said it like once or twice. This is just the first issue. This could potentially lead to one of the best Captain America story arcs, or one of the worst. Now you got to keep that in mind, be in the middle with this, because it it's different. It is ultimately different. There's been similar things done in the past, but this is drastic, because this is just to the point where, you know, you're reading the book, you're just going, and then bam, out of nowhere, you just get T-boned. Now it like I said, I understand the whole make Captain America great, you know, say no to Hydra Cap, blah 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 blah. But overall, it's what Marvel's going with, and they're not going to just pull back and just create a whole new series when they already have probably another issue done, and the artist is working on another one, so that would be disrespectful to the creators themselves, because they are putting their hard work into it. And that's all of them. That is the writers, the inkers, the colorists, the actual liners. It is everyone. It will be just a disservice. You would have to overall just take that in consideration as well. And it's open up your mind a little bit. Like, I'm not trying to say you're not open-minded, but just think about it. You know, just think about the Captain America stories that we had, and just think about how different this is. I know that's not, you know, a major thing to say, but it can help a lot, because with this, it's majorly different. I know it can cause a lot of different, you know, opinions, but overall it is something new, and it's pretty cool, you know, if you look at it from just the whole standpoint of just this is just going to be a like a thing that's just going to be a story arc, and it's going to happen, you know, it's going to happen. So overall, that's basically what I wanted to say. If you guys want any other videos like this, if you guys enjoy the videos like this, you know, shoot down in the comments if you guys like that. If you guys want me to talk about different topics, like I didn't get to read DC Rebirth yet, but I would like to make a video on that. And the whole Jeff Johns being in charge of the DC Universe, movieverse will be also something I would like to talk about that as well. But if you guys like that, comment, you know, like it if you want. But yeah, overall, thank you for watching, if you're watching from right now, and have a good day. Peace out, everybody. Ooh. Ooh, there we go.